Hey everybody! Today we're going to go over the Magic of I 2024 astrology planner in just a moment. Hey guys, I'm Mel and I'm the owner and the operator here. Now, before we really get going, I do need to tell you all that my audio got erased for this section of the video. So, oh, there I'm waving again. So things are going to be a little bit off, but I did want to give you audio. So I do just want to apologize for that, but let's get going. So I do have multiple videos of previous Magic of I planners, but I wanted to go over the packaging for this to start with. I did cross out my address, of course, but here you can see that there's a really pretty recyclable package that comes with all sorts of designs. It is good for the planet. They definitely, Magic of I company tries to keep that in mind. I did film this video quite a while ago, but it is something that because of the audio, got a bit messed up. Now, as I zoom in, you can see that there is this symbolism on here. There's 1% for the planet, so they do things for the planet every time somebody buys something. It's always recyclable, and they are all vegan. Now, the symbol here with the Magic of I and the snake, it says magicofI.com on the package. And it also does talk about that it's always made with love and intention. The recycling things talk about how important the planet is, and they also share how they help the land. Over here, you can see the snake, and that's a part of their symbolism and their branding. And then it says springboarding from the stars, bringing messages and reminders that being alive is truly the greatest gift. Thank you with love. So we're going to open this up, but on the back side of it, this is what the back of the package looks like, which is really cool. I think it's really pretty. They could save money and not print that, but they decide to actually print on the pack. Now, I did want to let you all know that it's about $45 for the standard size, and it is a pretty thorough planner for people that are serious about astrology. I did want to show how pretty the back design is, and it is something that represents the entirety of how the whole planner looks. If you notice the symbolism that is printed here, it really does have a lot to do with it. You can see the astrology houses, the zodiac signs, and then all of the symbolisms of the moon phases. They also have the planetary symbolism too, that's really small. If we flip this over, you can see that there is the lift and pull tab, which makes it really easy for opening, kind of no-brainer stuff for people that struggle with opening packages. And it's also meant to be able to be reused again, which I don't believe I did. I think I just threw it into the recycling, because obviously if you're going to reuse it, you have to send it to somebody that would be fine with this kind of packaging. Now, the package is empty, and we are going to look at the materials that came out. Now, because this was something that I pre-ordered, I do have extra bonuses here. This is the 2023 Moons little card, and as you can see, I got a 2024 Moons card. So it's the full moons and the new moons, month by month, day of the month, and the symbolism, so that you can see, like, right in front of you how simply it is. And I basically just put it in a Dollar Tree frame that I happened to have on hand, and just put it off to the side so I can reference it whenever I need to. I believe you can still get that. And then on the back of the card, it also says a little thank you for purchasing one of our magical creations for yourself or loved one. It is you that makes all of this possible. 1,000,001 thank yous from the bottom of our heart. And then it gives you some extra details: magicofI.com, astrology updates, their social medias, and things that they do for the planet. Now, the sticker, there's a sticker, and then we have a cloth bag as well, and everything is in the cloth bag. So you get a sticker every single year. You don't have to pre-order it. It does just come free with it, and it's usually a hologram one. It looks different every year. This year it has more like sunbeam swirls around it than in the past, and the last few years they've been bigger. The first year I got it, it was quite small actually, so that's interesting. Here's the bag that everything came in. It's a cotton, 100% cotton organic bag. It says it right on it, and it is basically, I believe, to protect the planner, but I use my planners so much, there's no way I would be keeping it in that. However, maybe for like travel or something, it would be a good way to protect it during travel. Now, I also, because it was a pre-order, I got this notebook here. It was just an extra bonus. I don't believe that's something that they're still giving away for free. You may be able to purchase it. This is a lined notebook of earthly delights, and it says expanding through the webs of interconnection. It's a 80 lined page notebook, and it is made with sustainable paper. This is something that is just kind of an extra way to do special intention. I'm just reading what's on there for you, which I'm not going to bother doing because I can see while I'm editing that you guys can see that clearly yourself, and it's for the planet. All right. So just this little small notebook. I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet. I still don't know as I'm recording the audio part for this. Okay, we are opening up the notebook just to see the inside of it. I honestly don't recall seeing that inside when I placed the order. I don't think you could even see it. Here I am probably struggling with the wrapping because for some reason I always have a hard time opening these things. Yeah. Okay, I finally got it out of the wrapping, and here we go. So it is a matte covering of the notebook, and then you can see the holographic type of material. It is a smooth linen finish, and it does feel a lot like the other stuff, and then it's very small lined. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it's not a book that has anything in it. It's completely blank. So it's cool. It's always good to have extra notebooks or extra little things to use for stuff. Now let's get right into the actual planner itself. So here we go with the planner itself. It comes shrink wrapped like everything else, which is always nice to know that there's no damage. And the outside, it's pretty much the same thing every year. So this is the pine green color. I think I mentioned that later in the video. It is 2024 Astrology Planner, a full cosmic guide for the entire year, Aspectarian, moon phases, optimum times life guide, menstrual moon tracker, monthly moons, intentions, astro references, and more. Now you can see that they both have that holographic visual, and it's pretty much the same thing. All right, so if we flip it over, we look at the binding. Oh, I'm upside down. Okay, well, there we go. Using the cycles of the moon and the planets to track and plan life. And you can pause it and read that for yourself if you are interested in that. So this is the sage green color. We're going to open this up and see what we get. Okay, so I just realized that this is actually pine green or evergreen in color. This is the sage green. So there is a difference. One is more evergreen than the other. This is the 2023 that I'm still using currently in, as you can see, it's pretty beat up. This is the new one. All right. So let's see what we got going on here. It looks pretty standard as far as anything changing. I don't know It usually says if there's something new. I can't remember where they write that though, so we're going to have to see if we can find it. It always has the magic of incarnation. So I'm going to stay zoomed out like this, all right? You can pause and zoom in if there's stuff that you want to read about this. It's just going to be a lot easier for me to share this with you guys like this. So this, every time at the very beginning, they introduce the planner. They talk about how it's a powerful tool for creating magic and living in alignment with the cosmos. And it talks about the month, the week, using the full potential. It really introduces, it's a basic introduction. And then this says, this edition is inspired by the incredible world of fungi, the constellations of the earth, and nature's true alchemists. Learn about their healing benefits and explore uncharted territory around their connections with astrology, pairing medicinal mushrooms with signs and planets in the astromycology fungi, the heavens, page 30. Everything is interconnected. That was in, I believe, so if I grab my other planner, this current year, 2023, I believe, yep, it was there. So I don't think that there's any updates as far as this year is concerned. I think it's about the same. The print, the bold, I'll zoom in for a second so you can see it. The bold print, like correspondences, guide, astro, that coloring matches the book, the color of the book. So the book is pine green, so it's a pine green coloring. And it's like that with all of the books. So this is pretty much just the standard, almost like a table of contents. This is what we can expect. And then it goes over the features of how the calendar works. There's a weekly, there's a monthly. You can do your own birth chart on here. It goes over very basics of moon signs and the elements, and then the moons, and then utilizing the moons in the planner, how to use the aspectarian, optimum times. Optimum times is about like energy and what to use the optimum time line if you're wanting to work with that. Then they have a basic general dates. Now, the thing is, there are a lot of things on here that are not included. A lot of smaller holidays I've noticed are not on here. And sometimes you can't like count on this. Time zones, the time zone for this is PST or PDT time. Okay, so it's not EST time, which is usually the time zone that I'm familiar with. Then it has the full 2024, 2025, and then it goes into a very brief breakdown. This is not in depth, but this is really good if you're just starting. If you are just starting and you're wanting a reference guide for the houses, the planets, and the zodiacs, signs and symbols, this is a really great, this is where I started to really start to work with the information and learning it. Because it really breaks it down. There's keywords, some stuff you don't need to know, like exalted, rules, element, body part, like that's kind of higher level. But to do the basics where the keywords are and like the basic keywords of each, that's pretty important. Then we get into aspects, conjunction, opposition, trine, square, sextile. So again, these are not all the astrology aspects. There are more than this basic group, but it is a basic introduction of it. So if you've watched my videos, sometimes I leave out important things that are happening, like a quincunx or something like that. And that is because it's not in this book, and this is the reference guide I use. Okay. So someday when I am much further into my astrology journey, I will be able to cover more than that. Then it covers the modes, but it's really like what kind of planet something is or sign something is. It goes over eclipses. It's basically like a lot of codes. Then it has a whole moon planting guide, which I still have yet to use. It's basically advising you of when to plant plants. Then it has a Deacon Tarot wheel, planetary days and hours. This is very beneficial if you do magic work with timing. So I did speak a little bit in the book review of Mystic Dylan's Candle Magic, and he does talk about what days to use certain things. So this is a really good thing that you could look at if you're looking for timing. Then it goes over the astrology bodies and planets and how they line up with one another. And then it has a little chart for retrogrades, and this is what it looks like on the wheel. I, for some reason, haven't used this, and I don't know why. I think it's because I don't like that it doesn't have the shadow periods in it, but that is what it is. Moon, a little basic, if you're looking for a chart for the moon and how each symbolism of the moon, this is perfect. This is really good. Then it gets into the menstrual cycles. So if you don't have a menstrual cycle, this part probably doesn't have anything to do with you, but it really dives deep into menstrual cycles and what part of the cycle is. And then there's even like a little chart for you to track it. I found that mine, on a personal note, tends to stick to the same moon sign. So for a while I think it was Sagittarius, and then it moved into Capricorn for a long time. And then this gets into the astromycology, fungi of the heavens. This one I will zoom in more on because this one was newer as of last year and we didn't really go too deep into it. So I'm going to zoom in and we will take a picture of this and I'll post it so you can really look at it. I just got to kind of hold it open. Okay, so there's that. And then this section is the medicinal part, which is all the mushrooms, the therapeutic benefits, signs, and planets. The thing is that I just want to say, though, about the medicinal piece of any kind of herbals, not just mushrooms. If you're on any kind of medication, if you have any kind of possible interactions, you want to check with your doctor. Even if the doctor isn't into this kind of stuff, you want to make sure that it's not going to interact with something that you are already on. For instance, just as an example, biotin is a very, it's a popular vitamin right now for hair, skin, and nails, and it interacts with a lot of stuff, especially thyroid things. So just keep that in mind. So this is like the breakdown of the fungus stuff. Feel free to pause it and zoom in on your own time. And then it gets into the aspects by month. And this is part of where I look at, I actually don't really look at this. This is good to look at it ahead of time if you're trying to look at stuff ahead of time. But mostly when I do my work, I look at it month to month. Then it goes over retrograde and direct dates, which is very helpful. I don't love that there's no shadow period in here though. And then the full moon and the new moon dates along with eclipses. And then every year it starts with a section to do what is your intentions? What do you want to create this year? What are the most 5 important intentions for you this year? And then it breaks it down to 8 areas of life: spiritual, mental, work, love, wealth, social, physical, and inspiration. Now, let me tell you, the first year I got this, I didn't want to mess it up. And then I ended up not using it. It's meant to be used. So don't get stuck like me. Then this has a nice little ribbon. Now, I do have to say, though, for some criticism, In 2023, these ribbons did not hold up. It came with 2 and they both fell out. And that's never happened to me with the other books. So I'm not sure what happened there. So then we have a space to expand our intentions. So spiritual intentions, and it talks about it, expansion, soul, and being what you want, and how are you going to get there? And then it just goes through each little topic like that. So then it goes into mental, work, love. So there's eight sets of these: wealth, social, physical, and inspiration. Okay. Oh, this is new. Oh, this is new. Okay. This was not here in any of the other ones. Okay, so what is this? Bird's eye view of 2024. It looks like it's just a quick clip of where your new moons are and what signs in each month, where the full moons are and what signs in each month, and when the sun moves. That's interesting. Huh. I like that because you don't have to go searching for it. That's cool. That's new. It was not like that before. And this is how each month is set up. At the beginning of each month, it gives you a month at a glance. It talks about the sun movement. It talks about the moons. Full moon in Cancer is going to be on the 26th of December. So once you get into this planner, it's already passed. New moon in Capricorn is on the 11th of January. Full moon in Leo is on the 25th of January. It tells you the themes for each, so the new moon and the full moon. And then it tells you all about the transits. Now, when I go over the monthly videos, I only do the ones that are in bold. And then when I break it down by week, then I go into the full detail. Okay? And then there's a whole month at a glance, and it literally has every single little aspect per day. So I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. So on the new moon, on the 11th of January, we have the new moon, what time, what sign, and then each little aspect. And then it tells you goals, live it up, goals, home sweet, home sweet. That's that timing thing that I was talking about. I have not really used that, but it talks about the energy of the best timing. And then on the side over here, it shows you the planets, what signs they're in and where they're moving. And then it shows you what dates they're moving and directions of retrograde not. And then every month, just like I said, this is the same every year, every month. So there's goals, there's intentions, and then it's set up for this column is goals, this column is steps, and how are you going to get to those goals? And then it goes into the year, into the month. So I'm not going to show you every single page. This is just so you can get an idea. Again, they have like the little aspects. They talk about the timing. They show you where the moon is, and they show you when there's a specific phase of the moon. And that's pretty much it. And it just keeps going. There is a section for weekly intentions at the top, and it just goes. Now let's see, let's skip ahead to the end of January. Yeah, so at the end of every month is a section for new moon and then full moon, new moon intentions, full moon releasing. Okay, so there's that for each month, and then it goes and does the same thing all over again. Okay, so I'm just going to flip through. By the way, the edges are gilded, which are pretty. So it's just the same thing every single month. Every month it's the same setup until you get all the way to the end. This is December. The end of December, there's a new moon in Capricorn on the 30th of December, 2024. So they leave a spot for that. And then they leave a spot for end of year review. This was new as of last year. Revisit your 5 most important intentions this year and reflect on all that unfolded. What are some things you are most proud of? So those are the intentions that we set here. at the very beginning. Okay, so there's a spot for that. And then the ephemeris, which I can finally say correctly because I've learned how to say it. It's basically the short version of what an ephemeris is if you do not know what it is. Each of these columns is a planet. The lines that go down the rows, it's the day, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the month. So January, so it's 1 through 31st. And it tells you each position each planet is in throughout the month, the degree, the sign, the seconds. And if it's in retrograde or not, it would have an R next to it. And it just goes through the entire year. So you have the entire year in the back of the book. And then there's a spot for notes, which I almost never find myself using. I always forget. There's a couple of pages for that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then there's an illustration guide, which I definitely didn't use last year. I don't know if I will this year. And just a little finishing up. And they always have a, I don't know if I can get it open, a pocket, put stuff in. And I believe they probably have a second ribbon. Yeah, the second ribbon's in here. So that is the whole thing in its entirety. It's this smooth vegan type feeling. If you are looking for a way to start incorporating some of the astrology elements into your regular daily, weekly, monthly life, I highly recommend this. It is expensive, but in my personal opinion, it's better than the other things that I've seen out there. I got the Yasmin Bolin Moonology Diary a few years back for Christmas because I had never had it before, and I really wasn't impressed. The only thing that was special about it was it talked about the moons a little bit more in depth when it became a full moon or a new moon, but you can just look that up. You don't even need that. So anyway, that is the entirety of this unboxing and video. I'm going to grab some things from the past videos, from the past orders to show you comparisons, and then we'll be done. Okay, so this is the newest one, 2024. This is the current one I'm using, 2023. This one is 2022. It was pink. And then 2021 was white. I would not get a white one again because it does get pretty dirty, especially if you're not keeping it in that sleeve it comes with, and I did not do that. But they do hold up, and I hold on to them for reference for the future, especially with the intention stuff. So I do have, I'm getting quite the collection here. So this is my 4th year doing this with the Magic of Eye. I didn't even know the Magic of Eye existed before that. Now, this was the sticker that came this year, and this was the sticker I got last year. So they're a little different. And then the sticker that I got, I know the sticker that I got with the white one, it was white. It was a white sticker. It looked like this. But they're basically the same. There's just a little bit of difference added to each one every year. And I have never been disappointed. The only literally little criticism I have about this 2023 one was the ribbons were not glued in properly for some reason. But I just ended up using a bookmark, and it's not the end of the world. So that's it. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep an eye out for more New Year's stuff, and I'll see you all later. Bye.